Hello and welcome to AMS2's King of Buskerud, and today we have a GT3 shootout with the BMW M6 and the Mercedes AMG. As the GT3s are one of the top categories in AMS2, I thought it would be worthwhile to watch the individual laps without showing any times and then seeing the side-by-sides to see how these highly competitive cars stack up against each other. Now, these cars are not really designed for this sort of circuit, and as you can see here from the M6, the turning circle of such a sports car is somewhat of a problem. That being said, the M6 is one of the easiest GT3s to get to grips with it being very neutrally handling and having a decent amount of traction out of the corners. This is somewhat of a swan song for the GT3 M6, as for the 2022 season it will be replaced with the M4. How long it will take us to have a M4 GT3 in AMS2? We'll wait and see. Okay, let's now jump across to the Mercedes AMG. I'm a little torn about promoting the AMG in this series. Up until last weekend I was looking forward to having the rumbling V8 around Buskerud. Unfortunately, during last weekend's DTM decider, Mercedes put out a political and farcical situation which for me doesn't belong in any form of sport, let alone motorsport. For Mercedes to put their brand in such a shade in order for them to dictate who is going to win a drivers' championship is just beyond wrong, and it's something which damages Mercedes' brand a lot. Top members of Mercedes have been promoting sportsmanship for quite a while, and for that to be completely flouted for nationalist politics, that's not what motorsport's about. It doesn't take anything away from the fine machinery that's been built, but does make me question the authenticity of Mercedes as a brand. Now, let's forget about that soapboxing for now, and let's concentrate on which of these two win out in this head-to-head. It is worth noting that these were back-to-back laps. I used my normal default setups. The only adjustments I made was in the steering lock to allow me to get around the tighter sections of the track. Coming through the first sector, the Mercedes has a slight advantage, but it's only slim. Let's see whether the BMW's issue with the turning circle around this hairpin will lose it too much time to be able to catch up. It does appear that the Mercedes is stretching its legs. That additional turning circle is helping it out on this narrow track. The Mercedes is a little bit more of a handful. Maybe that will play into a factor, and coming through sector 2 we've now got a huge advantage for the Mercedes. I think this is too much for the BMW to pull back. Disappointing as it is, I think this is now too far. Although the BMW does appear to be a bit more composed and a little bit quicker through this final section, but the Mercedes still seems to be ahead. And the BMW's got it! Absolutely stunning. 4 thousandths of a second on back-to-back laps around Buskerud in 2 completely different GT3 cars. Come back next week and let's see whether the Porsches can keep up. But before we go, let's see what times they did and how this stacks up on the leaderboard. So, both cars came in with a 1 minute 2.2. With 4 thousandths of a second separating them, that slots them in at number 1 and number 2. King of Buskerud is hotting up.